Guys, welcome to the Tech Tips Zone channel. In this video, we will discuss how to download and install a lightweight version of Windows 11 on any laptop. This is a modified ISO build by the developer NTDev, who is the original creator behind the Tiny11 series. Tiny11 is available for both Windows 10 and 11 versions, but this specific version is the Tiny11 Core. You can see that I have set my virtual machine to use 4 GB of RAM, 10 GB of hard disk space, and only 2 physical processor cores. It shows 4 here because it counts 4 of them as threads. So just click on the OK button, and now let me power on the virtual machine. And like all Windows installations, you need to perform the routine steps only. Just boot from the USB drive, or in this case the ISO file in the virtual machine, and start the Windows setup. Let me zoom in a bit so that you can see the things a little bit clearly. While the setup starts, you should know that this is a very clean and minimalistic version of Windows 11, and it doesn't include even normal things like the Edge browser and OneDrive. Let me zoom in a bit, and now perform routine installation of Windows 11 like you do. Just pick the storage space and click on next. Since I am using SSD, my installation experience was much faster. Also, since there are a lot of components that are removed from this OS build, so this should install pretty fast on your systems as well. Let me fast forward to the bit where the out of box experience page launches, and you can configure your PC from that moment. Also remember that I'll add the download link of the ISO file in the description box, so check that and download the ISO file, and then you can use any tool like Rufus to create a bootable media of this Tiny11 Core ISO. Since he has modified this Windows 11 installation file, you will see that you are not bothered by unnecessary pop-ups like signing in with your Microsoft account. Just pick a region and your keyboard layout and proceed with the installation. You won't see the signing into Microsoft account page like you do when you install a normal copy of Windows 11. I will link a video where I've explained how to bypass the Microsoft account requirement while installing Windows 11. Just enter your name and click on next, and then type a password that you will remember. Confirm your password, and now pick 3 security questions. I'll just pick them for the sake of this installation. And now we are on the privacy settings page. As these are very nagging in nature, you can just uncheck all of them and then click on the accept button to proceed with the installation. From here on, the setup will check for updates and slowly configure your PC, prepare all your devices. If you are installing this on a separate laptop, make sure to install network drivers as well, or otherwise anything won't work. Now we will check the Windows version first, so we can know which version of Windows this ISO is based on. Now you can see that this is based on the version 23H2, the latest Movement 4 build, and the build number is .2361, so it is a fairly recent build. Let's close this window. Now let's open the settings app to check if you can see that it is not activated on my system. And since this is a highly modified ISO file, you cannot even access the Windows update components because they are stripped as well. So This is the version, this is the build name and the experience pack that is installed with the Tiny11 core. Let's close this and check how much space the Windows installation takes on this PC. Since the ISO file was only 2 GB, after installation it consumes, I think, approximately 7 GB of space on my drive. You can see that it was just a 10 gigabit drive which I created for installing this version of Tiny11 core, and you can see that it consumes only 6 GB of space. And the experience isn't laggy at all since I'm using a 4 GB RAM and an appropriate storage for this installation, so there's nothing that is increasingly laggy with this installation. If you check the installed apps, you will notice that there are only Microsoft core components and some apps like Store, Notepad, Paint and Sniping Tool. Even the WordPad is missing from the picture, so you'll get very minimal apps and you will have no browser on your system, so you will have to use Wing-It to install it. I'll create a separate video on how to install a browser on your PC when you don't have a browser. Now let's check the task manager, and you can see that it is already consuming half of the assigned memory. The CPU utilization is about 35-40% and it is a little unstable right now. The memory consumption is very low, it is only 1.6 GB, while on my primary system Windows consumes about 3 to 4 GB whenever I boot it up. Let's check the startup apps, and you can see that there are none. Only this OneDrive setup is enabled, but OneDrive isn't installed on this version of PC. Let's search for it in the apps and check if OneDrive was there or not. There's no OneDrive in this installation, so yeah, you lack that, but you can install it from Microsoft Store if you like. Make sure that this build isn't intended for anyone trying to make this a primary system. This is just a test by the developer who has modified this ISO to create a bare bones version of Windows 11 that doesn't consume a lot of resources in the background. For a more reliable version, you can try out the Tiny11 ISO file, which was also modded by the same developer. I'll add a link to the download of that as well in the description box. That's all for this video, guys. Do like and share this video with other Windows lovers who will find it helpful. Also subscribe to the Tech Tips Zone channel for more such tech related content on Windows and other operating systems.